Hello everyone and welcome to this reformedwiki.org tutorial. In this tutorial we will be going over how to set up an info box, and a lot of us already know what these are. If you go to a site like Wikipedia, which does use the same software engine as our site, MediaWiki, so all of this is going to work pretty much the same, you will see a nice little helpful box to the right. On this article for John Calvin, you have the page text, and then you have a little box on the right, which is called an info box. It has his name and other helpful information, like when he was born and when he died, and so on and so forth. But this is not really an element that is native to writing an article in when you're drafting an article, unless you know how to reference it in, and you have to reference something that exists. And that is what we will go and show you today, is the template namespace is where all of these templates for these different kind of info boxes are set up. And we will be using book as an example today, and we will go ahead and create that. We already have them for people in churches, for example, so you can reference those in. Those are already here. And in order to edit the template namespace, you have to have the right level of permissions on the wiki to be able to do that. So if you are new to this, I would recommend you go to our Facebook community or Discord to get connected with us, and we can help you get started. And even if you don't have the permissions, you could maybe even draft the underlying code to send over to someone who does, so that they can get it created. But in the meantime, we will just go ahead and create the template for this. I already have a text file. I'll put this text in the description here in the box below, so you people can go ahead and copy and paste. But there's 3 sections to this blob of text we have. So the first one is what we're going to go ahead and copy into the source here for this, and we will call this info box book. And the rest of these at the top we won't really mess with, except for the different parameter names. As you see here, I have parameters 1 through 5, and I'll go ahead and trim off some of them, as we won't be using all of those. We'll just use maybe 3 for now. The page name, such as Holiness by J.C. Ryle, will be brought in automatically, and whatever image that you decide to use. So we won't need to worry about that here. So for the parameter names, we'll just go ahead and say book author, and published date, and genre. And we can always edit this and add more and change things if we need be, but those are 3 good parameters to probably have for an info box for a book. Whereas another info box, like for a church, would have a church's location or its theological tradition and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and create that source. And that should do it. Now the next thing that we will need to also do is the CSS for it. So all you need to do is add a /styles.css. And this will define the CSS styles for that info box, which is necessary for it to have the look and feel and stuff like that. And we will literally just copy this text here, and the only thing we really even have to change is this to make it match the title. So whatever your title is, we just need to make sure it matches that right here. So in our example, it'll be infobox_book. And if you wanted to, you could change the CSS as well, but we will just go ahead and save that. And now we have a info box for a book that we can reference. Now, we do have an article started for Holiness by J.C. Ryle. We'll put the full text of the book, since it's in the public domain, into this article at a later time, but right now I just have the first section, which would be introduction and a placeholder text, and saying that it is a book that covers the topic of sin, sanctification, and other things. And that's good enough for now. So let's go ahead and create the article. This is a new article, so I'm just getting it started. And now we want to reference in the info box. So what we'll do is copy this third section here. And we can paste that in at the top. And the only thing that we, again, have to change is what info box title it is. It has to match the exact title of this template here. So if it was church, it would say church instead of book. And we don't need to have the title or the image necessarily. And even if these are left blank, that is okay. It won't mess up anything. You can just leave this value blank. But we do have 3 parameters, which is the author, the published date, and the genre. And we will want to go ahead and populate that with J.C. Ryle. And the published date, we'll just put 1877, that year. And it is a, I guess, what would that genre be? A pastoral care? We can always change any of this, but I just want to go ahead and get this started. And now it will show an info box over here for the book. And if we wanted to have an image for it, we could just go to Upload File. And now we should be able to reference that image and code it in like that, and it should give us the image, Holiness by J.C. Ryle, with the nice little book cover. I just doctored this cover up. It's not the real cover. But there you go. That is a basic introduction on how to set up info boxes.